Alright, today we're going to be talking about the Avaya IP Office Outlook add-in. My name is Paul Fragway. I'm a systems engineer for Agility Communications Group. I have supported the IP Office platform for 5 years. I've been with Agility Communications for 2 years. I typically am out in the field doing installs or doing things that require on-site presence, but occasionally I'm in a support queue, so you may see me or hear me if you call in and need assistance from support. So the Outlook add-in is part of the Power User package. Power User has soft phone, Flare, 1X Portal, also the Mobility app. The Mobility app is an application you install on your smartphones. It basically can turn your cell phone into an extension of your desk phone. We also, the call assistance part of the Power User, and then of course our topic today, which is the Outlook add-in. Here's a quick snippet of the Outlook add-in. It has a directory, also telephone presence, so you can see if your coworkers are online or on a phone call. 1 second. Can everybody hear me okay? It's like somebody's having some issues hearing me. Let me see if I can make an adjustment here. 1 second. Alright guys, I guess we'll go with this in lieu of holding everything up. Hopefully you'll be able to understand what I'm saying, and we'll just have to continue. I'll look into this again, so next time maybe it won't be as muffled or echo. So with the Outlook add-in, again, we got presence, so you can see who's on the phone, who's not on the phone. Also, we have visual voicemail, and we're going to touch on all of this separately. The visual voicemail is the ability to see all of your voice messages in your voicemail box, kind of like you see emails in your inbox, and you can listen to different emails, or sorry, different voicemails as you need. Also, you have a call log. A call log is basically your incoming calls and also your outgoing calls, whatever missed calls you have. And then a dial pad that allows you to just dial a number. So some of the requirements for IP Office is you'll need a Power User license, 1 per user. The Power User licenses are roughly $140, and it's on and you'll need a license per user. You also need the 1X portal deployed, which is the backbone of the different applications, such as soft phone, the mobility app, also the Outlook add-in. You'll need an Essential Edition license, which is a prerequisite for your preferred license comes with Voicemail Pro. So if you have Voicemail Pro, then you have the Essential Edition license. And if you guys have any questions concerning licensing, you can always just send an email and we'll get that answered for you, because sometimes the licensing can be confusing. But to simplify it, I would say that the Essential Edition license would most likely be those installations that have the embedded voicemail, and then the preferred edition is going to be those with Voicemail Pro. So if you have Voicemail Pro from a licensing standpoint, you have just about everything you need to get Power User set up. On your PC requirements, you'll need a gig processor. So basically, any PC that's been purchased within the last 5 years, you're going to be okay. All of the Outlook releases in the last few years are good to go. So there's nothing that's really intensive there from a PC perspective. So each individual that's going to need to have the Outlook add-in will need to have a Power User license set up for them. And if you currently have Power User licensing, you may not know how many you have out deployed and how many you have available to assign. So one way to determine that is you can pull up System Status, and inside of System Status you can go into Resources and then go to Licenses, and here you see Power User licenses, and then how many you currently have your available instances, and then the number that you have assigned to users. So in this case, this is our system here, we have used all of our licensing. So if I wanted to deploy the 16th Power User, I'm going to have to purchase one more license. And this is the System Status application. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with it. If you want me to show you how to get into this and access your system, just shoot me a message. But it's pretty useful. You can get information on your system, current status, what extensions are logged in. You can also see alarms that are on the system. All this information is useful, not only in rolling out new Power Users, but also troubleshooting any problems that you may be having. So just a quick once over on System Status. This here is Manager, and inside of Manager is where we go to make changes to the system. And if you're going to roll out a Power User, or you're going to assign Power User so someone can use the Outlook add-in, you'll need to pull a config, go to the user that you want to assign Power User to. In this case, it'd be myself. And here for profile, you want to change it, which is probably going to be basic user. You'll want to change it to Power User. And if you don't see Power User on the drop-down, that probably means you don't have a license for it. So in this case we do, so we selected Power User. And then also here at the top, the Outlook add-in requires you to log in with the username and password. So on the User tab, this will be your username, and whatever you put in this this password field, that will be the password you need to log into the Outlook add-in. Also, this username is case sensitive, so pay attention to that. The Outlook piece of this doesn't necessarily require you to check a box in here and enable it. So just by simply assigning Power User to this individual, they'll get the ability to log into Outlook. Some of the other applications though, like Flare and that, and Mobility app, those do need to be enabled in here with a checkbox. So once you have this configured, you click OK here, and then you'll merge it. Underneath Edit, there's a little floppy disk. It's highlighted when it needs to be merged. You just click the button and send the new config to your IP office. So now that we have a user configured for Outlook, you'll need to download the Outlook add-in. And to do that, you'll need to go into the 1X portal and download the software. So you'll go to the URL that you have set up for your 1X portal, and if you don't know what that is, you can reach out to our support team, and if you think you've already have 1X portal deployed, we can help you locate this URL so you can get these apps. But then you'll come here to the login where it's asking for username and password. This login here is going to be the same that was on the user tab. So it'd be the, in my case, pfragway and the password that I had there. Once you're inside of 1X Portal, up at the top you'll go and click on Configure, and then you'll select Desktop Integration. Once you're on this screen, then you'll download the IP Office plugin for Microsoft Outlook and the 1X Call Assistant. And then once that's downloaded, you'll double click on the executable and start the installation. And the installation is not complicated. Basically, this comes up, the installation wizard will appear, and you'll click Next. You'll accept the agreement, put in your name, organization information. At this point, you have a choice. You can do a complete install or a custom install. If you choose complete, you're also going to get the Call Assistant, which is another application that is installed in your taskbar or your system tray, and allows you to double-click and access the 1X portal without having to go to the URL each time, which is nice to have. So let's see, here it is. This is a custom view, so you can see you can choose either the Outlook add-in or Call Assistant. In this case, we're worried about Outlook. We'll click Next, and then the installation is complete. And let's jump into it. Alright, so once it's done, once it's installed, you'll need to open up Outlook, and you'll go to add-ins up here at the top, and you'll see an entry for Avaya IP Office plugin. And then you'll get this pane off to the right, and you'll need to configure the Outlook add-in to log into the 1X portal. So you'll go to this drop-down arrow and select Settings. And for the application server, this is going to be either the IP address or the FQDN of your 1X portal service. So in this case, I have 1xp.agilitycg.com, but you may just have an IP address. However you guys have it set up. If you don't have the DNS piece completed, then you'll just put your IP address in here. On the user section, if you have a bridge, a conference bridge assigned, you can put that in. And then there's the auto login, so every time you open up Outlook, it will automatically log in. This section is for troubleshooting if the Outlook add-in keeps crashing. I've never had issues with that and never really had to review these logs. But that's there for you if you need it. And then we have the dialing rules. Dialing rules kind of identify what number you need to press to get an outside line. Also, how many digits are in your extensions or in your dial plan. If you're trying to make a call and you're trying to call a 4-digit extension and it doesn't go out, then that probably means you need to set this setting and identify the number of digits in your extensions. Of course, some of these others, your country code, international number for international numbers. Once you have that set up, click OK. And then again, this is that username and password that I was referring to in the beginning on the user tab. So this is that same username and password, and then we'll just log in. Alright, this is the application. This is the Outlook add-in. You can see here that we have a list of all the individuals on the phone system. And this is our contacts list. We have different lists. We have the system, and then you can create your personal list. So in this case, I have Outlook contacts. I also have one for text. If you wanted to create another list, you could. Over here to the right, you have the ability to create a new group, and we'll just call it vendors. Add, and now we can import new vendors that we have that we may want to be able to dial from the Outlook add-in. But we'll go back up here to personal. So here we can see all these individuals, and we have status or presence. So in this case, I can see Danny. She's available. She's logged into her phone. She's not logged into an app this other bubble down here is for chats or messages. You can go here and I can send Danny a chat. Same thing. Laura's logged in, but she's currently busy. And from here, I can place a call. Let's see. I'll go to text. So here we see Jeff is logged in and Richard. 1 second. And I'll give Richard a call. So you can just click it, it calls. Once the call is initiated, it brings you to another screen here.
Communications with Richard.
Hey Richard, it's Paul. I'm just making a test call to you. Hold on 1 second for me.
Sure.
So then we have, you can see here you have duration of the call. You have the ability to end the call and place the call on hold. This is a mute button. These buttons down here allow you to transfer, and this is a consult transfer. So the consult is, if you hit that, you can identify who it is you're actually sending to that individual before you hit the button. And then this is a record. If I press record, so now this call that we're currently on is being recorded, and when we end the call or end the recording, it drops it into the voicemail box so it can be reviewed later. And you can take that voicemail and you can send it to different individuals. All right, Richard, I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
You too. And then we can end the call just like that, and you see Richard's status goes back to green, so he's available again. Also from here, we can send text messages. And we can shoot text back and forth. This can be good for especially smaller organizations that don't have the same resources as larger ones, like they may not have a deployment of link, so they'll have the ability to chat. Your phone system can give you those that ability, so that's nice. And that's the chat piece of it. If you guys have any questions, just hit me up, and I'll try to get to them at the end. Also, through here on the contacts list, you can shoot it. If you have the email address configured, you can just click and it populates that email information for you, the email address. Also on this presence, if you have it configured correctly, you can pull your Exchange calendar information. So let's say if Matthew was in a meeting at this time, I'd be able to see inside of here that he may be, his icon may go into in-meeting status. And the way you configure that inside of 1X portal is you'll get to the 1X portal here. So this is the URL for our 1X portal, and you want to go to the administrator login as opposed to the user login. And then you log in with that username and password. So this is the back end of 1X portal where you can set some configurations. 1 second, I think I have a question here. Let me get to that. Oh yes, is there a way, there's a question, is there a way to track chat history? What you can do, I'll come back to that in just a second. Actually, let me knock it out real quick. On the chat history, right here, I can save this conversation. And once it's saved, it just saves it to a text file on the installation directory, and then you can go back and review that. But if you don't save it, then I don't believe that there is a record of it. All right, back to the 1X portal. So this is the back end or the administration piece of the 1X portal. Here we can see different services that are tied in. What we're concerned with is going to be the Exchange service. This Avaya admin is an account that's created on the Exchange server. So once that piece is created, then you just put in the username and the password. Also, obviously, the address of Exchange and the port in which those services are going to talk over, and then that will help. That will allow the 1X portal to pull calendar information. All right. And that's that piece. Also inside of the, get off of the chat. Also inside of the Outlook add-in, this add-in doesn't always have to be displayed inside of Outlook. You kind of have a toggle with the add-ins button up here at the top. So even though it's hidden like this, in this case it's still logged in and able to, you're still able to use the Outlook features or the IP Office add-in features inside of Outlook. For instance, if you go to a contact inside of your contacts list in Outlook, you can right-click that contact and go down and choose IP Office and make a phone call to that number. And we'll just click on that. I have that one misconfigured, but I had one as a test here. 1 second. I can't find it. But yeah, you should be able to right-click here, IP Office, and then find the phone number and then click it. If you install the Outlook add-in and you find that you don't have this right-click feature, there's a setting inside of Outlook that you may need to correct, which is you'll go up to File, and then you'll go to Options, and from Options you'll go to Mail, Editor Options. You'll go to the autocorrect portion, or autocorrect options, and then actions. And inside of here you can enable the Avaya IP Office, and that's what turns on that right click to call inside of your contacts. So that may have been a little fast. We'll go through it one more time. You go to File, and then Options, and then Mail, Editor Options, Proofing, and then Autocorrect Options. And it's this Actions tab. Of course, enable the additional actions, and then you'll want to check the Avaya IP Office and say OK. And that just enables this right-click piece so you can make phone calls from the contacts. But if you want to import these contacts directly into your Outlook add-in and also the 1X portal, you can do that. We'll go back to the add-in here. And back to this area where we have the section or the settings. We'll click on that, and then we have the Upload Outlook Contacts. And this will bring up a window where we can select the different contacts that we want to upload. So if you had a list of vendors in your Outlook, then you can select them here. Okay. This is which folder from Outlook you want to grab these contacts from, and then you upload them. Okay. Alright, so once you have them uploaded, then you can go to them in here and, 1 second. And once you have them uploaded, you can pull them up in here, and you can add those individuals to your different groups. So let's say, I don't know exactly which ones I just added, but we could pull it up in here. Let's say it was this one. You can click, I kind of did that fast. You can click this icon here and it adds it to your personal directory. And then you can fill in different information as far as maybe a cell phone number And then here you can say it's going to be a vendor and add it. And then we have that individual and vendors. Let me see. 1 second here. All right, does anybody have any questions on that? On any of those items that we covered? This one piece of this that we usually get is people complain that they can't see the Outlook add-in, but it's usually installed. It's just, this is considered a toggle, so they can bring it up and close it as needed, because it can kind of be cumbersome inside of your Outlook to always have this large pane here. But if you go to add-ins, you can hide it and bring it back up as needed. Also, somebody had a question on system status. You can access the system status through your all programs list, and if you have the manager application installed on your PC, it's going to be under IP Office, and then you'll have system status here. And again, the system status was used in the beginning of this process to identify how many individuals we had assign a power user application to, or power user license. So you just put in your IP address and then your username and password to log in to the IP office as an administrator, and it pulls up, and it will pull up that screen where you can go to licenses and see how many you have and how many you have assigned. All right, that's, let's see, unless I have any other questions, that's all I have on the Outlook add-in. And I don't see that I have any more. One other thing I was going to show you guys is, oh, PowerPoint's acting up. There it goes. Is this product, the Avaya E169. It's a media station. It's just recently come out. We just received ours today. So we're just now attaching it, plugging it up, learning more about it. But what this is you may have individuals who are in and out of the office, and they may initially think they don't necessarily need a hard phone, but they may just want to use their cell phone. But this allows them to dock their cell phone and still get enterprise telephony communications, even though they're maybe primarily out of the office and using their cell phone. But when they come in, they can dock it. They can integrate their cell phone into the phone system that you guys have in the office. It's a media station. It's much like a dock. You just put your device on there. It takes the Apple devices like iPhone. It also takes Android and Samsung Galaxy. You get some basic features like transfer, forward, mute, three-way conferencing. And it's pretty neat. It keeps you charged up. We're still getting more information on it, and like I said, we've just received our first one, but just to let you guys know that this product is out there. And you can shoot us an email if you're interested in more information on it. Also, you can reach out to your sales rep. They can get some information to you. Also, at any time, if you guys have questions, you can send them to support@AgilityCG.com, and we can get those answered for you. And at the end of this presentation, you guys will receive a survey. If you could fill that out, give us some feedback, and we can take that into consideration and hopefully provide better presentations for you in the future. Also, if you guys are interested in upgrading to Release 9, if you have a support contract, those upgrades are free. I think you just pay for the labor. Also, if you don't have a support contract, you might get with your sales rep and see how much it is. Those things are really useful, especially if you're going through a major outage. And our future presentations can be viewed at the AgilityCG.com website /events, and you can see our future dates and different presentations that we're going to have in the future. So if there's no other questions, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.